You're rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots, and a sexy body full of tats.
Pramac Yamaha team rider Jack Miller impressed at the Circuit of the Americas, Cota, by setting the fastest time compared to his teammates. Miller managed to finish in 5th position in the qualifying session, showing a significant improvement from his previous performance. Meanwhile, his teammates have not been able to match Miller's speed, and must be satisfied with the position below him. Miller's dominance on the track is in the spotlight, especially with the performance of Yamaha bikes, which are now considered more competitive. Jack Miller did not hesitate to give praise for the improvement of the Yamaha motorbike he was riding. According to him, Yamaha has worked hard on technical development and the results are starting to show clearly at Cota. The bike feels much more stable in fast corners, and the acceleration is amazing. This is definitely a step forward for Yamaha. I'm happy to be able to show the true potential of this bike, Miller said after the session. Miller's slick performance also signals that Yamaha, through the Pramac satellite team, is seriously competing at the top this season. And here's the full news. Pramac Yamaha satellite team rider Jack Miller has again proven himself as one of the most consistent and tough riders on the MotoGP grid. In the qualifying session at Circuit of the Americas, Cota, Miller performed brilliantly and managed to score a time that led him to 5th position. This achievement put him as the fastest rider in his team, far enough ahead of his teammates who are still struggling in the back position. Since the beginning of the racing weekend at Cota, Miller has shown a promising performance. In the first free practice session FP1, he was already in the top 5 and continued to maintain that rhythm until the qualifying session. In challenging track conditions with bumpy asphalt surfaces and technical corners, Miller was still able to appear aggressive but precise, showing a big improvement from previous races. The key to Miller's brilliant performance this time was the significant progress shown by the Yamaha M1 bike. As a satellite team, Pramac Yamaha does not always get top priority in technology updates, but this season it seems that Yamaha has provided more even technical support. Miller said that the changes to the electronics, traction system, and improvements to the suspension have really helped him adapt the bike to his racing style. I really feel a big difference from this bike compared to the start of the season, Miller said after the session. A Yamaha worked hard, especially in terms of acceleration out of corners. That's very important at a circuit like Cota, which has a lot of stop-and-go sectors and long corners. We also changed the approach to bike setup, and the technical team was very quick to respond. We tried some new combinations in FP2 and FP3, and finally found the right setting for the qualifying session. The results are very positive, he added. Miller also appreciated the increasingly solid communication between himself and the Pramac Yamaha technical crew. According to him, this good cooperation creates a positive atmosphere in the garage and makes him more confident in making important decisions on the track. Not only that, Jack also mentioned that Yamaha has started to listen to input from satellite riders more seriously, making the bike development process more inclusive and faster. Teammates still struggling. Unlike Miller, his teammates have not been able to find the speed needed at Cota. Despite using similar technical packages, the differences in racing style, bike settings, and adaptation to the circuit's characteristics seem to be a challenge. His teammates struggled in the technical sector and had difficulty maintaining a consistent lap time, so had to be willing to start the race from a lower position on the grid. This difference further emphasizes Miller's dominance in the Pramac Yamaha team at the moment, as well as adding pressure for his teammate to immediately catch up. Even so, Miller still provides moral support and hopes that his team can perform better in the main race. Yamaha is going in the right direction. Miller's praise for the improvement of Yamaha's motorbikes is not just talk. In recent seasons, Yamaha has lagged behind other manufacturers such as Ducati and KTM, especially in terms of top speed and traction in slow corners. But this season, especially at Cota, the progress is starting to show. Data from the time sector shows that Yamaha bikes no longer lose much time on the straights, and are more stable during late braking. We know the road ahead is still long, but the direction of development is correct. It's not just about the engine, but also the chassis, aerodynamics and electronics. Yamaha is starting to put everything together consistently, Miller explained. With 5th place on the grid, Miller is on the 2nd row, and has a great chance to start strongly when the green light comes on. If he can maintain the pace and rhythm of the qualifying session, a podium could be a realistic target for the Australian. Eyes of the world on Cota? The Circuit of the Americas itself is known as one of the most challenging tracks on the MotoGP calendar, with a combination of fast corners, technical chicanes and long straights. Many riders admit that Cota is not an easy circuit to conquer. That's why Miller's performance this time around has received a lot of attention from observers and the media, who see it as a strong signal that Yamaha through the Pramac team is experiencing a revival. The fans also began to put more hope in Miller. With experience, mental toughness, and now more solid technical support, many believe Miller can be a dark horse rider this season. Closing. Jack Miller's outstanding performance at Cota was not just about the time or starting position, but also about the passion and progress being built with Yamaha. With this result, Miller has further shown that he still deserves to be counted as one of the top MotoGP riders. Sunday's race will decide everything. But one thing is certain, Jack Miller and Pramac Yamaha have sent a clear message to their rivals: they're ready to compete, and they're faster than ever. Pramac Yamaha team rider Jack Miller recently divulged several weaknesses which he said were the main cause of the Yamaha bike's performance decline in the last 2 MotoGP series, namely in the Thailand and Argentina MotoGP. In an exclusive interview with a number of media, Miller explained that the biggest problem faced by Yamaha in both series lies in the electronic sector of the motorbike, which affects the stability and performance of the engine during the race. Miller, who is known as a rider with extensive experience in the MotoGP event, revealed that although overall the Yamaha bike has the potential to compete at the top level, the electronics are a weak point that greatly hampers performance. We all know that Yamaha has the potential for a good engine. But in the last 2 series, namely in Thailand and Argentina, we had serious problems in the electronics sector. That really affects the bike's ability to work optimally, and in the end, affects lap times and endurance in the race, Miller said. The electronic problems referred to by Miller include unstable power control system settings and engine management, which caused the bike to struggle with changing track conditions. This became even more apparent in the Thai MotoGP, where the track's high temperatures and high humidity made the electronics work harder than usual. A similar situation occurred in Argentina, where changes in temperature and circuit conditions caused the bike to struggle to optimize its acceleration and stability. Miller also explained that these electronic issues made power control less precise, which resulted in a drop in performance in certain sectors of the track. On certain circuits, especially in Thailand and Argentina, we felt an inconsistent drop in power. Sometimes the bike felt very fast, but on the other hand, it also felt very slow, as if it was losing power. It all has to do with the electronic settings and how the bike responds to the input from the throttle, he added. For a rider like Miller, who relies on speed and precision in every lap, this problem is clearly disturbing. Although the Yamaha team has worked hard to make improvements, Miller emphasized that without significant improvements to the bike's electronic system, they will continue to be left behind in the fierce competition that occurs in each series. We are working hard to maximize the potential of the bike, but if these electronic problems continue to occur, we will find it difficult to compete at the highest level. It's not just about speed, but also about stability and consistency throughout the race, he explained. The electronic system Miller is referring to includes not only power management, but also interaction with other systems, such as traction settings and acceleration control, which are crucial at some points on the track. In MotoGP, where every second and every component of the bike can determine victory or defeat, the slightest problem can have a major effect on the final result. Despite this, Miller does not entirely blame the electronics as the main cause of their defeat. He also recognizes that every team in MotoGP has their own challenges, and every rider and bike engineer must work together to find the best solution. We have to be more creative and work more closely with the technical team. I'm sure with a strong team, we will be able to fix this problem, he said optimistically. For Yamaha, this criticism is certainly an important evaluation material. So far, Yamaha is known as one of the most experienced teams and its technology is highly regarded in MotoGP. However, with the increasingly fierce competition and rapid technological developments, they must be more responsive in responding to problems such as those expressed by Jack Miller. Delays in the electronic sector, if left unchecked, could affect their position in the race for the world title in the coming seasons. Miller himself added that he hopes the Yamaha team can immediately implement updates to the bike's electronic system in order to compete at the highest level again. We have great potential, both in terms of riders and bikes. What we need is an improvement in the electronic sector. Once we can solve this problem, I'm sure Yamaha will return to winning ways, Miller concluded hopefully. With two disappointing series in Thailand and Argentina, Yamaha must now face a big challenge to fix the weaknesses and prepare more carefully for the next series. All eyes are now on Yamaha's technical team to provide the updates needed so that their riders, like Jack Miller, can get back to competing optimally in the rest of the increasingly heated MotoGP season.
Oh gosh, she's such a tease, bitten lips, bruised knees. I'm addicted to her, need her touching me, cause she got a bad little waist. And we tearing down this place, off the liquor that we chase. Casamigos to the face, baby, I don't need no space. Coming closer for a taste, and I'll show you how I make everything just fade away. Cause she's like sex, drugs, cocaine, body so insane. Jealous of the clothing that she wears up on that tight frame. All game, no shame, baby came here to play. I feel like an addict cause she's sex, drugs, cocaine. Got a fine little body and her mind's kinda naughty. They say that once you taste it, you cannot replace it. She could get you high, all the dopamine inside triggers fast once she's naked. Her body's a creation. They say the devil made her for his entertainment, but even he couldn't learn how to contain it. Her high heels make a damn good statement. There is no replacement, a body by Satan. She got a bad little waist, and we tearing down this place. Off the liquor that we chase, Casamigos to the face, baby, I don't need no space. Coming closer for a taste, and I'll show you how I make everything just fade away. Cause she's like sex, drugs, cocaine, body so insane. Jealous of the clothing that she wears up on her tight frame. All game, no shame, baby came here to play. I feel like an addict cause she's sex, drugs, cocaine.